It's the last day of campaigning for the French presidential election. The country has long had close economic and political ties with a number of African countries. 10% of France's population is of African origin, and there are around 300,000 French citizens living in Africa. I'm now joined by BBC Afrique's Arwa Barkallah, who is in Paris. Arwa, what's the latest on the campaigning?
Yes, Peter. Well, today, both candidates decided to visit cathedrals on the last day of campaigning. Centrist Emmanuel Macron was in the southwest of France. He was in the town of Rodez. At the same time, Marine Le Pen visited the famous cathedrals of the city of Reims. She got a frosty reception there. She was booed by activists and had to be ushered away by her bodyguards. Now, Sunday's winning candidate will have a very busy foreign affairs agenda, especially with Africa and French citizens living in Africa. So I've been finding out what the two presidential candidates plan for the continent. In a testament to the close relationship between France and Africa, Marine Le Pen went on an official visit to Chad in March, a first for the Front National during a presidential campaign. A month earlier, her rival Emmanuel Macron had visited Algeria. So what are their key Africa policy? Emmanuel Macron has promised to increase aid contributions to developing countries to 0.7% of France's gross national product between 2022 and 2030, whereas Marine Le Pen says she can achieve the same target within her first five-year term. African countries will be the biggest beneficiaries. Emmanuel Macron wants funding to the continent to be geared towards small and medium-sized businesses. For Marine Le Pen, the priorities are security, education and agriculture. And both candidates want to strengthen the links between French-speaking countries.
What both Macron and Le Pen want, without admitting it, is to use development aid as a way of furthering French business interests in Africa. Both of them are discreetly pushing for aid that comes with strings attached.
On a recent visit to Algeria, Emmanuel Macron called French colonialism a crime against humanity. But this is not an official position of the French government. Civil society critics that agree with Macron believe that French society's refusal to deal with the negative aspects of its colonial past is due to the concept of France-Afrique. The term France-Afrique is used to describe France's relationship with its former African colonies in the second half of the 20th century. It has taken an increasingly negative significance due to the perceived lack of transparency in financial and diplomatic dealings between France and African heads of states.
It's a system
that links both right and left-wing French leaders with shady African heads of state. They don't hold free and fair elections. They stay in power for 20, 50 years, all with the blessings of the French government. We think it's a dangerous system that impedes Africa's development.
Both candidates have promised to put an end to France-Afrique, but previous heads of states have said the same in the past. Whoever wins Sunday's poll will need to change their African policies if they want to move away from this contentious legacy. Arwa Barkallah, BBC News, Paris.